Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing okay. Missing you. All of your art teachers are. We talk about it all the time. It's such a bummer to not be able to see you guys right now. Um, Hope you're doing well, staying safe, you and your family. Make sure you're washing your hands. I know you're so sick of hearing that right now. This week's lesson is encouraging you to go to a museum virtually, which is neat. There's a lot of the museums, since we can't physically go to them, have created these resources where we can virtually visit the museums, and they're pretty fun. So I'm just going to take you through the lesson. Your task is gonna be to virtually visit a museum and create a visual scavenger hunt for someone else after you who would visit it. The scavenger hunt could look a lot of different ways. It could be a treasure map or a checklist, a bingo card or a grid, maybe even a narrated screencast just like this. If you have another idea, I'd love to see it too. So we're gonna go here to some examples. Okay, so this presentation is going to show you some examples of how this scavenger hunt might look. So here's the treasure map one, and you can see these examples are treasure maps. So if this were a scavenger hunt of the museum, you'd be looking for a painting with an island in it. You're looking for a painting with a skull, a painting with mermaids. So this would sort of take somebody through the museum. This one here, you might be looking for a whale, a painting with a whale in it, a painting with an octopus in it. And maybe you decide to do a checklist format. And these are some checklists. You can see there's an image with a word in a box. And there's a lot of different ones of these. This is a nature scavenger hunt. So if I were out from here, maybe you decide to do a bingo card format or a grid format. So bingo cards are typically 5 by 5. It could potentially be a bingo game where somebody like looks for those things and gets bingo when they find them all. So that's a really neat way to do it. And these are some really cool looking bingo cards. This one was done with photographs. That's going to be a little bit trickier to do with the photographs because you're online. You can't really take photos unless you took screenshots, but I think you kind of want to get your own creative interpretation of the pieces. So I'd say try drawings if you can. This one here is, a 3 by 3, so that's not as many as the 5 by 5, and it still works. Use your judgment. I would say if you were gonna do I wouldn't do like 2 images, but you can figure out how many would make sense for a really well done scavenger hunt to bring somebody through the museum and get them to experience it. These are more creative interpretations that don't necessarily fit into a category. So you can see this is a tree and it's got all these different things you could look for in nature. Some of you, freeform is a little bit more your style. So these 2 examples might sort of resonate with you more. This one is a checklist, but it's not in that grid format. It's a little bit just more free. So maybe that's something that we can see here. If you click here, you can go to virtual museum. So I'm just going to click on this. And that's going to bring me to virtual museum. Here we are on this page with the virtual museums review. And these are some reviews that I wrote, just like, about the user experience. There's a lot of them, like this Musée d'Orsay, which is in Paris, and it's a virtual visit or walk through the museum, and there are point pieces at the bottom of the screen that propel you through the experience. Wow. So that's actually the one that we're going to go to together, the Musée d'Orsay. But on here, there's the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So if you feel like going to New York City, then you can go to the Met. And this is the permanent collection, a gallery of art in Washington, D.C. This is actually a specific show. So it's a Fashioning a Nation, which is drawings from the colonial period through, through the 19th century. And it's a good choice if your tech abilities are low and or your technology is a little bit limited, because it's really just a website you scroll through. So that's a pretty easy one to look through. And then there's others here if you want to go to Spain, if you want to go to South Korea, if you want to go to London, if you want to stay in Boston, the Gardner Museum's here, which is an amazing, amazing museum. So, and it's very well done online. So I think we're gonna go to Paris together. So I'm just gonna click here on museum, and it's gonna bring me to okay, and here I am at the Musée d'Orsay, and you can see there's what I was kind of talking about before. There are these images along the bottom, and those propel you into different rooms at the museum. Do this thing where with this little hand here, I hope you kind of just press down with your mouse and then move around. These are some pieces by Van Gogh. Move yourself around the room if you can do that with your mouse and see some more pieces and feel like you're really in the museum, which is so cool. We're gonna choose some places to go. So I'm gonna start at Van Gogh's bedroom here. And I have some sketching stuff. So I have a sketchbook. I'm gonna be working with a sketchbook. I'm very lucky to have a sketchbook. Not all of you are gonna have a sketchbook at home. So what might you do? Well, guess what? You can sketch on anything. You can sketch on the back of a piece of old mail. You can grab a few pieces of old mail. Make sure you're not doing it on your parents' bills. Do it on a paper bag. I used some scissors and I cut a piece from the Whole Foods bag. Okay guys, so I'm all set and ready to do my final. I've got this piece of paper here, which is again from a paper bag. And that's gonna actually be my final. I love this paper. I think that the paper that they make paper bags with is beautiful to make artwork on. And I do a lot of final stuff on paper bags. And then I've got my sketches next to me, and I also have this website up. So I'm all set to make my final. Okay guys, so lastly, your scavenger hunt is finished. And the very last thing on here is extra. You don't have to do this, but it's pretty fun. At the very bottom of this, it says lesson extensions. The first bullet says bring a family member on your scavenger hunt. So take out your scavenger hunt, bring them to the museum, and have them look around the museum for these things that you've put on your scavenger hunt. Look for and then have them write a few sentences about their experience. So if you want to submit this to us, awesome. We would love to hear about their experiences with it too. So you get extra props for that for sure. Another option, or maybe in addition to, you can take the digital image of this that you send to us and send it to a friend and tell them what museum it's for and have them take it and then have them send you theirs. And you know, you can go to the different museum. I hope you have fun with this. Have a great time going to your museum. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I miss you. I look forward to seeing you very, very, very soon, hopefully. Bye, guys.